Everyone's out there wondering out loud on the internet, why do I feel so crappy at the end of the day? Why am I crying alone in the bathroom and just silently screaming into a pillow or maybe into my fist? Is that person at work that constantly just seems to be just kind of berating me and negging me? Are they being funny? Or is it something worse? Something far more disturbing? Am I the victim of workplace bullying? Well, I'm here to tell you, you might be. It might not be all in your head. And all jokes aside, it's actually, sadly, become kind of an issue. Approximately 30% of U.S. workers have experienced direct bullying, and that is from the Workplace Bullying Institute. This is a premier institute in America, I promise. And here's the thing. It's getting worse. In fact, the prevalence of bullying among remote workers is 43.2%. And that is indicating that virtual work environments are just petri dishes for workplace bullying. If you think that you might be the target of workplace bullying, we are going to explore it through this book, Back Off, ! Your kick-ass guide to ending bullying at work, 105 practical tools you need to understand to report and effectively end workplace bullying by Catherine Mattice. We're not going to go over all of the 105 practical tools, but we're going to go through some of them. So the main things we're going to cover are, what are some bullying behaviors, right? Number 2, reasons why bullies bully and why you might be a bully's target. And number 3, practical tools to address workplace bullying, what you can do to end it. So folks, crack open a frosé and let's dive in. Welcome to Bookwise from bookclub.com. And I am your host, Britt Brewer, AKA Dr. Books. No, I can't write you a prescription for your toe fungus, but I can talk to you about books. They have done the research and they have compiled a list of very specific bullying behaviors. They are categorized into different buckets: communication, humiliation, and manipulation. Communication. Some of these are a little bit more obvious: insulting, offensive, belittling remarks, threatening language, threatening employment termination or demotions. This is a big one. Avoiding communication altogether. So they're just ghosting you on your one-on-ones, or you're just avoiding communication altogether. Next category, humiliation. Starting or spreading gossip and rumors. Hinting to peers that they should quit. Nobody likes them. Or the boss thinks that they're incompetent. Consistently reminding others of mistakes they've made in the past, not letting mistakes go, or making a bigger deal out of a mistake than it really is. And now we've got the last one, manipulation. It's a big one. Withholding information coworkers need to do their jobs well, including excluding peers from memos, meetings, and other types of information or functions. Assigning work that is impossible to do, not providing accurate or complete instructions, or giving impossible deadlines. Uber excessive and unnecessary micromanagement. Showing up late for meetings and other functions scheduled by specific coworkers to demonstrate that they are unimportant. Yikes. That's some deep mind game, power game manipulation. That is, woof. Been there. So, number 2, section 2, part D, Hotshots part D. Why are there bullies, and why did they maybe target people like me and you? Actually, the book enumerates 11 reasons why you might be targeted, but we're just going to go for 3. So, number 1, and this is a big one. I know that there was a show called The New Girl, and it was very quirky, and Zooey Deschanel was super quirky, and it seems like fun to be new in town and to be a fish out of water. There's a whole genre of films about this.
That's why I need a new apartment. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Do you have any pets?
However, for the most part, it kind of sucks to be new and different. And maybe you're different because for many reasons, it makes people, they're like, what's this person doing? Why are they're here from corporate, from Saratoga, and we're over here in another place. It's not Saratoga. We don't like them. Humans are very tribal. And we tend to be afraid of the unknown. Okay, here is another reason why you might be being targeted. Bullies, they will push the envelope as far as they can push it. And they love a target of someone who they think that they can get away with being aggressive with you. And the more you take it, the more they bully you. And then it turns into this vicious cycle. And so, unfortunately, it's what happens. And then here's another one. And I'm not trying to side with the bullies here, or just let you know that unfortunately, we are often the collateral damage of others' pain, which means that often you are subjected to a workplace bully's undealt with trauma, either past or present. And so often they're just taking it out on you. Okay, so thus ends part 2 of exploring why bullies bully and why they might be targeting certain people in the workplace. So we have come to part 3, our last part. What can you do? You've identified these behaviors. You've reckoned with the reality of why they might be targeting you. And now you're like, okay, I have all this knowledge, but what can I do? Because I can't take it anymore. Can't take it anymore. I've had enough. One really important thing, and the first thing we're going to talk about, is maintain conscious awareness of your body language at all times. So here are some tips for assertive body language. Sit or stand up straight and lean forward slightly, a little bit like this. Maybe like, keep your feet planted firmly on the ground. That's right, you're grounded. Your feet are on the ground. Keep your toes pointed forward at all times. You got toes going all over the place, they're going to know. They're going to know. We got a weak one. We got a weak chain in the lake. So no, you go, "G'day, Susan." G'day, Susan. It's me. I'm not really Australian, but I've got my hands on my hips. And I'm going to go get a flat white now. Always be sure to use an assertive tone of voice. Don't whisper. Don't come across as complaining. Be factual and to the point. Okay, here's the last thing about language. It's the importance of you language. Instead of I don't like or I feel this way, you turn it around and you put the onus on them and say, you need to work on treating others professionally, because that will stop them in their tracks. Put the onus on them and then make it about behaviors that they're doing and how it's affecting the rest of the workplace. All right, folks. So that was Back Off by Catherine Mattice. And lastly, you know what? If all else fails, if you've done everything, if you've done the tips and the assertive language and all of that, sometimes, much like relationships, if they are just immutably toxic, try and get yourself out of there, because no one should be bullied on a regular basis. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, I'm your host, Britt Brewer, AKA Dr. Books, and this has been another episode of Bookwise from bookclub.com. Thank you. Happy reading. Stay strong. I love you.